With Eric Bischoff now out of the business until further notice, Vince McMahon was back in full force. Thursday night on a loaded show on UPN SmackDown, winning the WWF title from Triple H with Austin's help. The show headlined by a big Star Power Rumble match with all 5 title challengers along with the Vince Hunter match, jumped big to draw SmackDown's highest rating to date with a 4.6 rating to head into tonight with big interest 6 days from Unforgiven. WCW loaded up the first hour having a rare Goldberg match starting already at 8:25, going up against Brian Knobbs with the Cincinnati crowd mega hot for the match. After it, Goldberg took the microphone calling out "See for Halloween Havoc in 5 weeks" to set up the pay-per-view match. The big star power in the unopposed hour continued with Ric Flair coming out for a promo right after the Goldberg match, calling out Sting to bring out Benoit, who told Flair that Sting is already booked for tonight with them scheduled for a world title match later. The quarter featuring the end of the Goldberg match along with the Flair promo, peaked at a 4.7 rating, WCW's highest rated segment during the first hour since May, with the first hour overall doing a 4.2 rating. Also the highest in 5 months. A few minutes from the top of the hour, Benoit and Sting made their entrances with the title match set for the crossover segment. Going 15 minutes in a strong opener, ending up with Luger interfering to give Sting the win, with Flair, Page and Hogan all coming out post-match, setting up Flair vs Page for later in Flair's first TV match since losing the presidency to Sting 2 months ago. The Sting-Benoit title match maintained better than usual doing a 3.6 rating against Raw's opening segment, WCW's highest first quarter since July, which will also be the peak of the night. Raw, coming off the surprise title change on SmackDown 4 days ago, opened with new champion Vince out to relinquish the belt, saying that he's prohibited from engaging in day-to-day business activities, announcing a 6-pack challenge for the title in the Unforgiven main event Sunday. Steve Austin came out moments later saying that he should be in the match, with McMahon out of his position saying that he can't change company decisions, ending up with Austin reinstating Vince with the clause in the contract, making Austin the special enforcer in the match with the winner facing Austin next. With Triple H and Shane getting involved to set up a tag match for tonight with Hunter and Chyna against Vince and Shane. Raw jumped over 900,000 viewers in the second quarter for Rock arriving to Houston's Compaq Center, meeting security guard Louise on her birthday, showing a rare different side, holding himself from saying his signature lines and singing the SmackDown Hotel song to her as a gift in a classic segment. Minutes later, Undertaker sent his crew to take out Mankind in the boiler room, with Rock making the save and walking away. Along with the Jericho vs Billy Gunn match also in the same quarter. With Undertaker working through injuries for the last few months, including a torn groin that made it difficult for him to wrestle a full match, with Show doing the bulk of the work in their tag matches lately, was set to take time off after this show and ended up taken out of the Unforgiven main event as a result, replaced by the returning Davey Boy Smith. Taker, who was doing arguably the best character work of his career with his performance as natural and close to his personality as at any other time in his run, will undergo surgery in hopes of being ready for a return between the Rumble in January to Mania in April. Dallas Page came out for a promo hyping his match with Flair set for the main event, while Raw had Michael Cole interviewing Mankind backstage, telling him to know his mouth and shut his role before Rock entered the frame, responding to Undertaker's comments on him talking trash, saying that he talks trash 24/7, doing a comedy impersonation of him cutting promos in his sleep. The all-time great Rock-Mankind interactions, which have been the highlight of TV over the last month in the program with Taker and Show, continue to dominate the shows, with them setting up a tag titles match against Show and Taker for later. Raw had several show-long angles, first with D'Lo hyping his match with Mark Henry for Unforgiven before Henry attacked him from behind and left the building, ending up with D'Lo driving after him to a club in Houston. Along with Vince and Shane preparing for the tag match, with Shane hyping Vince throughout the show. While WCW had Seed accepting the Goldberg challenge for the Havoc pay-per-view. Vince and Shane will not be the only McMahons wrestling on the show, as Stephanie made her in-ring debut teaming with Test against Jarrett and Debra, with the build to the Jarrett-Chyna match heating up, with Jarrett turning on Debra and getting over as a heel in this angle. Another first, will see the first ever Dudleys vs Hardys match, with the Acolytes on commentary for the match, playing off the intrigue of what will happen when they face another ECW team with a reputation, telling the Dudleys to ask Public Enemy what happened the last time an ECW tag team faced them, referring to them shooting on Public Enemy in their Heat match in March. With Bradshaw saying that there are 3 rules in this place: you're not drinking their beer, not messing with their rats, and not cutting a promo on the Acolytes. WCW opened the third hour with Eddie Guerrero and Perry Saturn going 8 minutes. With the promos of the Rock-Mankind vs Taker and Show feud going above the normal work style, with both cutting promos on each other gimmick. A notable exchange earlier saw Taker telling Rock to get his script writers to write him a eulogy after the match tonight. Rock, who took pride in his creativity and originality, and known for writing his own material to the point where co-workers who traveled with him on the roster were saying that he'll write notes of any material that he comes up with anywhere during the day, from car rides to restaurants, responded saying that obviously the millions know he writes all his material, and wrote something for Taker real fast, claiming to be from hell and is gonna get checked into the SmackDown hotel. The end of the Test Jarrett mixed tag, Rock's promo, and the tag titles Dark Side Rules match, with Rock and Mankind winning the tag titles, gained over 900,000 viewers to peak the night with a 6.7 rating. Hulk Hogan came out hyping his rematch with Sting, booked for the Havoc pay-per-view, along with next week's announced main event, with WCW returning to their home base in Atlanta for the first show in the new Phillips Arena. The company hyped a 6-man tag with a promoted Dream Team of Hogan, Hart and Flair going against Sting, Luger and Page. The build to the Unforgiven main event continued, with Taker ordering the group to go find Kane after turning on him in the tag match earlier. Rick Steiner came out for an interview with Gene, saying that he respects no one outside of this person, calling out brother Scott Steiner making his TV return after months out with injury. Scott said that when he left he was the US champ and the leader of the NWO, cutting a strong promo on Hulk Hogan saying that he turned his TV on last week, and saw Hogan wearing yellow and red, telling him that nobody leaves the NWO unless they kick him out and he's coming after him soon. The referees going on strike angle continued with all the matches on this show having different people from Tom Pritchard to Steve Lombardi refereeing. Raw had footage from earlier today with Al Snow in a cemetery for Pepper's funeral, with the cameras showing shots of Bossman getting there later and the final angle of the Wild Snow Bossman program before the Dog Cage match Sunday. Followed by a Bossman Holly hardcore match that saw Bossman take a brutal glass shot to the head opening him up. WCW had Booker vs. Kanyon and then took 2 commercial breaks in a row before Flair attacked Page to start the match in a brawl going 6 minutes. Raw jumped around 700,000 viewers in the final quarter with D'Lo finding Henry in a strip club in the build to their first match after almost 2 years on screen as part of the Nation and as a separate tag team, along with Triple H promo and the start of the 9-minute main event tag match, ending up with Vince getting locked in his room and Test coming out as Shane's partner. WCW in 3 minutes in the overrun featuring the end of the Flair-Page match along with a post-match angle, and in an unexplainable situation that almost seemed like a system error, featuring one of the top consistent TV draws in the business and Flair with his first match in 2 months, dropped to an almost record-low 1.7 rating, among the lowest main event numbers in show history. Raw went 6 minutes in the overrun picking up around 600,000 viewers to a 6.6 rating, and then gaining another 700,000 viewers going unopposed to a 7.1 peak, ending up with Vince laying out Hunter with a chair to close the show.